Hello everybody and welcome back, where today we're talking the summer sale for PSVR2. We've been waiting for this one for quite a while to see what would come on sale, and it's finally here. Kicking off on the 16th, this sale lasts all the way until the 30th, with plenty of good deals and a couple that I'm really going to push towards you because I think you should go for them, with some record lows for certain games. Before we get into this, only 25% you are actually subbed to the channel, so please feel free to do so, and thank you to our patrons and members for keeping the channel going day after day and week after week. With that being said, let's get into this. Our first segment of games actually comes from the sponsor of today's video, which is Maze Theory. These guys have teamed up with me today to showcase some of the games that are on sale, and I've actually played all of these on the channel personally. As we go through, their prices will be on screen. We got Ancient Dungeon on sale. This fantastic roguelike dungeon crawler is fully multiplayer compatible and has a brand new update incoming. Don't let the art style fool you, this is one of the sharpest games in the headset on PSVR2 and runs buttery smooth. They've also got Peaky Blinders, The King's Ransom, taking you on an original Peaky Blinders story, and because it's licensed by the BBC, they've got the actual actors in to play the voices of your favourite Blinders characters. I'm a big fan of the show, and it felt very surreal sitting at a table with Tommy Shelby having a drink, so that's on sale too. One of their puzzle games, Infinite Inside, is also on this sale. This one is slightly mind-bending, has a very interpretable story, and will throw a load of surreal visuals and physics-defying puzzles in your direction. So if you're a puzzler, I'd recommend that one. Lastly, for the Maze Theory games, Doctor Who: The Edge of Time is on sale. If you're a fan of the Doctor's adventures, this one will put you in the shoes of an unknowing companion to the Doctor in Jodie Whittaker's era, where you have to face off against some of the universe's most terrifying enemies and save reality. Overall here, Maze Theory have put a lot on sale for this summer offering, so go and take a look, and thanks to them for sponsoring today's video. Alright, let's continue. Next up, I've got to push one of my favourite VR games and non-VR games of all time. Gran Turismo 7 doesn't go on sale often, but here it is at half price at $34.99. If you haven't played this one, go and try out My First Gran Turismo. It's free, and then if you like it, pick up GT7. It's got so much content, constant rotated weekly races, some of the best graphics I've ever seen in VR and non-VR, and ultimately it's just a great driving sim. It has its flaws of course, but I love this game to death and I'll keep playing it for years to come. Another game which many people have a similar sentiment for is No Man's Sky. At 60% off, we're looking at $15.99 being your entry fee to this infinite world. Take to the skies, explore planets, and create settlements, and so much more in this expansive space sim that's built on a foundation of 10 years of development and updates. All fully playable in VR, although I'll say on base PS5 it can struggle a little bit, but on PS5 Pro, apparently it runs pretty well. A game that runs flawlessly on both though, and is one of the best VR games of all time, is Resident Evil Village, at I think a price comparable to its all-time low a couple months ago of £8.74. This is an absolute steal for one of the best VR games ever made, and even if you don't like horror games, I implore you to give it a go, or at least try the demo to see if you like it, because it's so good. Resident Evil 4 Gold Edition is also on sale for $26.99, a bit more pricey, but it is a slightly more recent game, being the Resi4 Remake. This won my Game of the Year for 2023, and I cannot recommend it enough. It's slightly less scary than Resident Evil Village, it's more action focused, although it does have its horror moments, so if you enjoy that more than horror, I'd say give this one a go definitely. Hitman World of Assassination Deluxe Edition is on sale for $35.99. This is usually a whopping £80, so if you do want to go and pick it up, this will give you access to everything in the Hitman Collection 1, 2 and 3 and the bonus content, except I think for the contracts like Lashif, for example, you'll have to go and buy those, but all the base game stuff, I think you get it all in this pack for $35.99. Metro Awakening is 23 and 9 pence, a very specific price. This will take you through a 6 to 8 hour journey through the Metro, and if you're a fan of the flat screen games, you probably have this game already, but if you somehow don't, definitely go and pick it up. It gives you some much needed context for one of the beloved characters from the original Metro games, and has a genuinely good story in my opinion. Arizona Sunshine Remake is $14.99 as well. This zombie shooter can be played fully solo or co-op, with a bunch of guns, stages, and undead to blast through. If you want to kill two birds with one stone and buy Metro and Arizona 2, together, not the remake but the sequel, that'll be $32.49. One of my favourite games from this year, with some of the best melee combat in VR, is Arken Age, and that's on sale for £19.79. Arken Age looks the part, runs unreprojected, with an option for reprojection if you want to prioritise visuals, and again, just has such good melee combat that the game actually has quite a few guns to use, but I just didn't use them for 90% of my playtime because the sword fighting felt that good. If you want a melee combat game and you're into this sci-fi aesthetic, go and pick it up. If you're into a more military shooter vibe, then go for Crossfire Sierra Squad. It's £16.19, this is 40% off with a ton of content. I'd recommend turning realism mode on and turning on manual reloads for extra immersion and to make every shot count. You can either play through this with a friend or solo in a ton of side missions, a main campaign and a horde mode. FNAF Help Wanted is £9.99 at 60% off. I believe you get this in the extra tier of PlayStation Plus, but if you don't have that, then you can buy the full-time edition with all DLC for this current price. A great spooky time if you're looking for that sort of thing. One of the best looking PSVR2 games of all time is Red Matter 2 at £14.24. If you're into puzzle games, this is a no-brainer, or even if you're not, just go and pick it up if you like sci-fi games because it looks stunning and you'll really feel like you're on another planet. If you hate the puzzles, go and look up a guide for it just to explore the visuals and the world of this game. If you're looking for a Left 4 Dead style experience, After the Full Complete Edition is £5.59 at 65% off. I'd recommend some friends to play this with, because solo it isn't really too fun in my opinion, and the gunplay is a bit stiff, but overall there's a lot of content here and it can be a blast with friends. Metal Hellsinger VR is £13.74. I honestly did enjoy this one quite a lot. It's a good flat to VR port, not from the flat to VR studios, just a port of a flat game to VR. But it's got a banging soundtrack and it's the closest thing we really have to Doom on PSVR2. Starship Troopers Continuum is £7.49. Honestly, this is quite a fair price for it, I think. This is a game where you go and play through roguelite missions, embodying a trooper until you die, and then you get to pick another one, with quite a few weapons, bug types from the films and books to kill, and quite a lot to do in terms of content. If you feel like spellcasting, Wizards The Dark Times Brotherhood is £7.99 at 50% off, and you save 10% more with PlayStation Plus. This has a couple of co-op missions and a full solo campaign with full gesture-based controls to make you really feel like Doctor Strange. If you've always wanted to see what it's like behind the scenes managing a live TV show, Not for Broadcast VR is here for that. It's on PS Plus Premium, I believe, but at the moment it's 75% off at around a £5. Make sure nothing gets put on air that shouldn't be said, and make story choices in your off time as well. It's a bit of a mix of like Papers, Please and other management sims, with the stress of having to manage a live broadcast and make sure that everything's as it should be. It's a weird one, but it really works in VR, so I'd recommend it. One of my favourite PSVR2 roguelites, the Light Brigade, is on sale for £11.99. This World War I style game where you go for runs again and again and again, picking different upgrades, and seeing how far you can get against each stage and boss, is honestly so addictive, weighty, and immersive. Really recommend that one. For a very surreal experience, the Utility Room is on sale for £10.49. I believe this is by a solo dev, and it puts you into kind of the back rooms of reality, into these weird liminal spaces where giant stone heads roam around. I can't really explain it, to be honest. It's really weird, but I did quite enjoy my time with it for some reason, so check it out. And finally, a tower defense game that I didn't expect to enjoy as much as I did, Captain Toonhead vs the Punks from Outer Space, is £12.79 at 20% off, and you save 20% more with PS Plus. I didn't really like the writing of this one too much. It was a bit childish for me, but in terms of the gameplay, I found that it was actually fairly challenging and a lot of fun. Upgrading your towers, placing them strategically, and also jumping in and taking control of them to blast away at enemies. Definitely recommend taking a look at that one if you're into tower defense. Anyway, that'll do us for today. There are a couple of other games on sale, but these are my top picks, so go and take a look for yourself, see if there's anything else that catches your eye, and again, that's until the 30th of July, so you've got around half a month. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.